Had a bit of breaking news to bring you before, and this is, of course, was about the decision to ban Maccabi Tel Aviv fans from that match with Aston Villa. Chief Constable of West Midlands Police, Craig Guildford, wrote to the Home Affairs Select Committee in the last few moments, basically apologising, saying that he provided incorrect evidence to them because an AI programme, Microsoft Copilot, was used in order to draft up incorrect information in that report that then led to the decision to ban those fans. Of course, this will only step up pressure on Craig Guildford, the Chief Constable. He said he didn't know until Friday afternoon. We can talk to the opposition about this and other subjects as well. We're joined now by the Shadow Foreign Secretary, Dame Priti Patel. It's great to have you with you. It's breaking news. You've literally just found out about it since coming in the studio. What is your reaction to
this? I'm alarmed by this, and as a former Home Secretary that has worked on policing at every single level, including when it comes to football, by the way, this is alarming. The police always have proper information to inform their decision-making, including for football matches and fan protection and operational policing. This is deeply alarming. I see that this is a letter to the chair of the Home Affairs Select Committee, Dame Karen Bradley, but actually bear in mind, I think Craig Guildford's position was pretty untenable anyway, even before this has come out. I just don't see how he can survive this, and I think he should just get on and resign now.
What can the Home Secretary do? She can't sack him, right? But she could say that she doesn't have confidence.
So it's about having confidence, whether or not you have confidence in the Chief Constable. And in light of this has just become an absolute saga. And it's put a real spotlight, basically, in terms of policing decision-making and conduct, and just the sheer unprofessionalism, the way in which people, it appears, were lent on in terms of decision-making. That is not right. The police are meant to be operationally independent, and from what we have seen through various select committee appearances, the information that he claims to have brought forward, the case that is made, it's inconsistent and it is simply not right. So I think the Home Secretary does have to step in now. I think she's dragged her heels for too long, if I may say so as well. This has been going on since December last year, and this has just gone on for too long. And I think now a line in the sand has to be drawn on this. I personally watched, the whole saga around the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans being not able to go and the whole issue with fans. I just thought the whole thing was completely...
What the government says in this is that they have to wait for this report. They want to find out if it does come out that he misled Parliament over it, and then that's the right time for a decision.
So, Sophie, you could argue with this apology, that report now might be delayed even further, because that's more information that they might have to go back and question him on. So I think actually it's his time to take action. The longer this carries on, by the way, think about West Midlands as a police force, one of the largest police forces in the country. They've got a range of other issues going on there. They need strong leadership right now.
I want to talk to you about Iran, because we're seeing more and more people in Iran dying, being killed, potential executions about to happen about these protests. Donald Trump's promised them that help is on the way. Would you back American airstrikes?
So we don't know what that help that's on the way is going to look like. And, we've read reports overnight that America is looking at all options. So we're not in that territory of even sort of backing action right now. I do think there are things that we can do and our government should be doing domestically in the UK, and also even with our security and intelligence services, which are first class. So we have cyber offensive capabilities where we could actually strike the Iranian regime and stop them from doing what they're doing in terms of blocking their citizens to have access to the internet, for example.
So do you think that's something that the UK should be looking at doing?
And by the way, so we're a Five Eyes country, so we work with our security and intelligence services across Five Eyes countries, including America. So we could do that. We have the National Cyber Security Centre.
But should we do it?
Yes, we should. We should. I absolutely believe we should. We should not be sitting on our hands. This is a regime that's hostile to our country. This is a country, Iran is a country that sent their own assassins to our country. They have their proxies here. They're a hostile state to us. We had Iranians arrested in our country just last year.
Although the West doesn't have a great track record of intervention in the Middle East. I mean, some would say that, look, it has got to come from the Iranian people.
Well,
Any sign of Western powers getting involved could actually harm their cause.
Well, I think first and foremost, the Iranian people, they're dying for their freedom. They are protesting against a totalitarian, extreme regime that's been there for nearly 5 decades now. And they're a young country still. Look at the ages of the people that are dying for their freedom. You know, I think for us to sit on our hands is simply not acceptable. And by the way, the government has said that they'll bring in more sanctions. Sanctions take time. Iran busts sanctions. They circumvent sanctions as well. So on things such as cyber capabilities and using our national security tools, we should use them because it also keeps our country safe too.
Can I ask you quickly about this Chinese embassy application? We're expecting the result of that in the coming days. Some people are saying that, look, you know, China is someone we've got to do business with. They've got a right to have an embassy in London. Others are saying, hang on a minute, because of the location of this, they've got real concerns. Where do you sit?
So first of all, this embassy should not go ahead. So let me just be clear about that. In terms of the economic relationship, we've always had an economic relationship with China, so it's not a new thing. And it's wrong for some politicians to say, oh, we need a new economic relationship with them. We have one anyway. This embassy is not in our national interest and it will jeopardise our national security. And that is why my party and I and my colleagues are so vocal about this in terms of the location, but also the plans. We have not seen the full plans. We've seen the landscape, the gardens, the hedges, how it's going to look from the outside. We do not know what those 208 rooms are going to look like inside the embassy, what they're going to be used for, the implications for our national security. The location is a problem alongside the City of London, as I'm sure you've reported on previously as well. So we believe this plan should not go ahead.
Just finally, a lot of Boris Johnson allies, former Boris Johnson allies like yourself, have been lured over to reform. You know, Nadine Dorries, for example, we saw Nadeem Zahawi jumping ship as well. Have they tried to approach you at all?
No, is the answer. And let me just be quite clear about this. Some of the names, my former colleagues you've mentioned, they left Parliament. They're not on the front line in terms of British politics like I am and many of my colleagues are, fighting to rebuild my party post the general election. You know, I'm a lifelong Conservative. I've been a member for over 30 years. Yeah. I've always been at the grassroots.
So Nigel Farage hasn't tried to bend your arm?
I'm a diehard Conservative. So for me, it's
so he knows he's had no chance.
So it's not even a discussion topic. It really isn't. I'm fighting for Conservative values.
And what did you? Are you friends with Nadeem Zahawi?
So I've known Nadeem for a long time. Of course, I did not know about this at all. He's a former colleague. I've worked with him. These are personal choices, individual choices that people, you know, make themselves. When you're not in the front line, it's a different situation to when you are, like I am, and I have been, as you know, over the last year or so, fighting to get my party back on track. We are getting ourselves back on track. We're forcing the government into all these U-turns as well. And we're making the case to the British people as to why they should come back and support us.
Priti Patel, thank you.